Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at 5.
We begin with a developing story out of Fargo. Bison football fans can rejoice as NDSU announced a fall football game this afternoon. Let's get more on the decision. Valley News Live sports director Beth Houle joins us in studio now with the details. Beth?
Yeah, thanks, Andrea. Just a little over 1 week after postponing any fall football games, NDSU is back to announce a single game set for October 3rd against Central Arkansas. The Bison will be back to work with strength coach Jim Kramer this week, and then with football practices opening back up a week from tomorrow. NDSU plans to have at least some fans in attendance, but tailgating will not be allowed for the single game. Director of Athletics Matt Larson said the emphasis is getting as many fans as possible safely inside the Fargo Dome for the game, and tailgating is more difficult to manage.
It's hard to say we're going to go 50% tailgating or 40% tailgating, or whatever the number may be. And so we thought the best course of action, at least for now, was to not have tailgating as it typically is for a Bison game.
Larson said they are still actively working with the Fargo Dome, the city of Fargo, and Fargo-Cass Public Health to work out the particulars of seating and capacity for fans, but hope to have more answers by later this week. Coming up tonight at 6, we'll hear from head coach Matt Entz about who to expect on the field this fall.
All right, thanks, Beth, for that update. Season ticket holders have until 4 p.m. Friday, September 4th to indicate their interest. We have more information on how to do so. All you have to do is click on this story on the VNL News app. It was the first day back in the classroom for many students and staff in the Valley today after over 5 months away due to COVID-19. Kindred Public Schools started full-time in-person classes this morning, while Central Cass schools welcomed teachers back to prepare to do the same next week. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with school officials today on what the year will look like and how they plan to keep students and staff safe.
There's really not a lot normal about the start of this year. It is a challenge, to say the least.
Both Kindred and Central Cass Public Schools say it was a long summer full of intense planning, but say they're excited to have some sort of normalcy back in the classroom.
We have a responsibility to educate kids, and if we can do it in person, which we're fortunate that we can at this time.
Both superintendents say the state and county health departments have given them the green light to start the school year in person due to the low amount of COVID-19 cases both in each city as well as within the district, but say they know that could change at any moment, which is why they're taking as many precautions as possible.
Asking, somebody to wear a mask to help make that a reality, that's probably a small thing that we can do to assure that we can stay open as long as possible.
Fornes says while masks aren't required for Central Cass students, they are highly recommended. Meanwhile, Kindred says masks are mandatory.
When students enter the building and when they're going to be leaving, moving through common areas like the hallways and between classes.
Both superintendents also say despite their many precautions, COVID-19 is likely inevitable and say if and when someone does test positive, health officials will help the districts decide what's next.
The mindset that the entire grade will be forced to quarantine, that's just not the reality.
Both say they're working hard to make it through the entire school year in person, but say they're also prepared for the worst.
Hopefully we'll look back at 2020 and say that was an interesting year.
In Cass County, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Yeah.
Both Kindred and Central Cass say there will be hand sanitizers throughout the buildings and in each classroom, with students required to wash their hands both walking in and out of the room. New for you now at 5, 2 men are now in jail after police say they're connected to at least 19 thefts from vehicles that happened this summer. 28-year-old Logan Stenson and 30-year-old Matthew Logan are each facing charges related to the theft cases. Stenson was arrested on August 8th and is set to appear in Cass County District Court on September 16th. Logan was arrested 4 different times over the course of 2.5 months. He has a court appearance scheduled for September 23rd. A 16-year-old juvenile is now in jail in connection with a Bemidji shooting, thanks to a tip from Crime Stoppers. Officials say the shooting happened Monday night after a fight between several people ended in gunfire. Officers arrested 25-year-old Michael Finday of Bemidji for providing false information, fleeing on foot, obstructing justice, and 2 outstanding felony warrants. And now Bemidji police say, thanks to that tip, the juvenile believed to be the shooter was arrested on Friday. Reports have been sent to the Beltrami County Attorney's Office for charges. Parts of the region are managing to hang on to the 80s today, but we know that cooler weather is moving in sometime soon. Let's get more on this evening's forecast. Hutch, it sure is a nice day out there.
Beautiful. After a light show across the area yesterday, delivered a lot of rain. More on that in a minute. Take a look at Tiffany's capture here in the Comstock area as lightning branched out over the skies above. We do have some thunderstorms in southern Minnesota. That's where the chances will be best tonight. I think Fargo stays dry. Temperatures near 80 for the next few hours, and then we'll sneak down into the 60s as we head to bedtime. Grand Forks, much the same. Temperatures in the 80s until we get, well, after sunset. Then we'll enjoy some 70s out there. Light winds, beautiful conditions for most of our area tonight. We do have some thunder in the forecast. We also have that cooler air you were hinting at, Andrea. I'll have hour-by-hour details, and we'll talk about all of that here in just a little while.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Hutch. Police are asking for your help in finding a 6-month-old boy abducted Saturday night in Columbia Falls, Montana, saying he may be headed for North Dakota. Officials say a 20-year-old Andrew Warner and 19-year-old Haley Emerson abducted 6-month-old Lucas Warner Saturday afternoon. The Amber Alert says Andrew is bipolar and off his medication. Authorities are searching for a 1990 to 2000 Chevy extended cab pickup with unknown license plates. Warner is described as white, 6 feet tall, 160 pounds, with blonde hair and hazel eyes. Emerson is described as white, 5 feet tall, 159 pounds, with blonde hair and green eyes. If you have any information, you're asked to contact the number right there on your screen. A Fargo man is facing rape charges after an alleged incident back in January of 2019. According to court documents, the victim told Morehead police that she and her roommates were hanging out with 3 males and that when she went upstairs to sleep, 22-year-old James Murphy followed her. The victim told investigators she felt unusually sleepy, and after waking up, she saw a man undressing her. The next time she woke up, 2 men were standing over her. Investigators say she found a used, bloody condom on her bedroom floor with Murphy's DNA inside. If convicted, Murphy could spend up to 15 years in prison. One man is warning his neighbors after a doorbell camera caught car prowlers. The camera spotted this person around 4 a.m. on Monday, August 24th, in the Village Green neighborhood. The homeowner says he saw 2 young men, both carrying backpacks and riding bikes in the neighborhood. The man says it's also a good reminder to lock your house and vehicles and make sure all valuables are in a safe place. If you see anything suspicious, you're urged to call police. A 42-year-old man is facing DUI charges after emergency crews had to get him out of a car that was dangling off the side of a bridge in Jamestown. Police believe the man, Terrell Manuel Jr., was driving too fast Sunday morning around 3 a.m. and drove across a median and multiple lanes of traffic. They say Manuel hit a concrete barrier and then pushed the concrete through the fence and into the river below. Firefighters were able to stabilize the car and get Manuel out and take him to a hospital. He now faces several charges. We've heard doctors say face masks can help prevent the spread of the coronavirus, and more people are wearing them with a sense of style. Nancy Chen looks at how face mask fashion and accessories have taken off.
The necessary accessory of the summer has turned this San Antonio car salesman into an unlikely style inspiration.
These are most all the ones now.
Steve Montgomery went viral after matching his ties and face masks, which his girlfriend sews from pocket squares.
I've got over 107 ties, but mask I'm still working on. I think we got like up to 20 now. So I have not worn the same mask since I started this.
And how long ago was that?
3 weeks ago, I believe.
Big brands are offering their own fashions for face masks, including designer Tory Burch. David's Bridal has a line of masks devoted to brides and grooms. And then there's this. An Israeli company calls it the most expensive face mask in the world, with 3,600 diamonds valued at $1.5 million.
People are finding much more affordable designs online. More than 29 million masks were sold on Etsy in April, May, and June, enough to cover the distance between New York and London and then some.
Face mask accessories are also popular. Samantha Katz sells chains that hold masks when people take them off.
You have your mask, and then you have your accessories, so you just can put it behind you, in front of you.
They start at $20 and come in a variety of styles.
It kind of completes a look, like a necklace might complete a look, or a headband or a hat. Now your face mask accessories go into as well.
Officials say the designs help people express themselves even while covering their face. Let's take a look at the COVID-19 numbers. In Minnesota, the Department of Health is reporting 717 confirmed cases of COVID-19, along with 4 new deaths linked to the illness. In total, over 1,700 deaths have been attributed to the disease. Over 63,000 people are listed as recovered. In North Dakota, there are 127 new cases and 1 new death in the state. The death toll now sits at 137. The active case count is up to 1,657. Back-to-back threats are targeting the Gulf Coast. A look at how people are preparing for a tropical storm and a hurricane. Next on Valley News Live at 5.
Sunday thunderstorms were soakers across the James and Cheyenne River valleys, where you see the oranges and reds. 2 to 6 inches of estimated rainfall by Doppler radar. We'll have details on a little more rain in the forecast next.